What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Another non-POV video for you today. We are in the G63 courtesy of my friends at Monza Exotics. So we're going to be going for a little drive, grabbing some coffee. So let's go ahead and get on the road. Pulling off here, I think you guys can see me much better than the last video of this style I shot was in the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I'll link that here if you haven't seen it already, but it was pretty much impossible to see with that 5% tint on the front windscreen. This is much better. Anyways, gonna be adding some more videos of this style to the channel just to mix it up a little bit. We'll definitely still always be doing those POV vids, but it is nice to add some variety to the channel, that's for sure. Especially in probably my favorite SUV, definitely one of my favorite cars, which is the Mercedes G-Wagon, this one being the G63, with that beautiful twin-turbo 4-liter V8, pushing 577 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. This is really the do-all car. My daily at the moment is the Porsche Cayenne, which is also one of my favorite SUVs, especially when we're talking about like Turbo GT, which I haven't filmed a video with yet. Hopefully can shoot one soon. But I think I would honestly have to choose a G-Wagon over a Cayenne. As much of a Porsche guy as I am, and as much as I love my Cayenne, it's just hard to beat the G-Class. I mean, it literally does everything. My two-car solution would for sure have to be a G63 and a 911. Even just having one car though, you cannot go wrong with the G-Wagon, as it literally will do everything. Especially this newer generation of them, way more luxurious and more comfortable to drive than the previous generations of the wagon. Just got a little distracted, a 997 3RS just went by, but as I was saying, it's kind of lost some of that rugged nature that the older wagons had, but at some point, Mercedes is going to have to let that go if they did want to market this as more of a luxury vehicle, as it really has become their flagship, I'd even say over the S-Class. But I do absolutely love the ruggedness of the previous generations, whether it be the 550, the G55, the older G63s, they're all awesome cars. But these newer ones are way more comfortable. The interior, much more modern. You've got all the tech now. I mean, it doesn't feel any different than an S-Class in here, so you're not missing out on any comfort, that's for sure. And they haven't sacrificed any of the off-road capabilities. You know, if anything, it's probably more capable than the previous generation. You still got those center locks as well, which you don't want to use those on the road, but for off-roading make a huge difference. And hopefully at some point I will be able to shoot some off-road stuff in the wagon and drive it as it was meant to be, because I'd say 95% of them, especially the ones here in Southern California, are just ran around town mostly by moms to drop their kids off at school and stuff. Still awesome cars, but it kind of sucks not seeing them being used in the way they were intended to be, because you can really beat on these things and they will not let you down. We'll go ahead and change that dynamic drive mode from its current comfort setting down to sport, and then sport plus, my favorite, which also opens up those exhaust valves. You can really hear that throaty V8. You really can't beat the sound of a Mercedes V8 bi-turbo engine. Still think it's one of the best sounding engines. We still got people sitting at lights, almost catching a red. Well, here's a good time to show you how this thing really picks up, even though it is shaped like a cube. no slouch. And these newer generations, the handling is so much better than the older wagons. You can even go ahead, put it in the manual drive mode that lets you use those paddle shifters freely. You know, something that you probably don't do too often in a wagon, but it's nice to have the ability to do so if you want. Back to what I was saying before too, it is kind of hard to compare this to something like the Cayenne Turbo GT, as this isn't an outright performance SUV like that is. I mean, that thing's got pretty much supercar level performance. This thing's definitely not lagging, but again, not aerodynamic or really weight savings oriented as the Turbo GT is, so not a straight up performance SUV. Then again too, trying to compare it to like say like a Bentley Bentayga or Rolls-Royce Cullinan, this doesn't lack on any luxury. It's also not one of those super luxury SUVs. And then the off-road sense, you know, it's not necessarily a Toyota Land Cruiser, although I think probably is more off-road capable. My point being, it does all three of those things really, really well instead of just one like most of those cars do. Like, you're not going to be off-roading a Cayenne Turbo GT, you're not going to be performance driving a Bentley Bentayga, and you can't really expect S-Class level comfort out of a Toyota Land Cruiser, but this checks all three boxes to where it can hold its own against those cars, but doesn't necessarily specialize in just one of those things, and that is why I love the wagon so much. And no matter which one of those you prefer, there's definitely no arguing that the G-Class is the most iconic SUV, hands down. Go ahead, roll those windows down so you can hear that V8. Other nice thing too about the wagons is that they're not really oversized. Granted, the only clearance issue you might have is that they are tall, so certain parking structures can be an issue, but outside of that, I mean, it's a perfectly normal sized car. No issue parking lots, parking spaces, anything like that, maneuvering through tight traffic, unless it is the 4x4 squared. That's a little bit of a different story, but generally speaking, very, very practically sized vehicle. Got our coffee, so we'll get back on the road, put her down into Sport Plus once again, and get out of here. Definitely going to need to film some more wagon videos in the future. Do a full review and drive of one, as well as a day in the life of what it's like to live with one. After the 720S, once it's back, I plan on doing the G63 for the day in the life series. And what a perfect day it is. Other nice thing about this car is how boxy and flat it is. There's so many good mounting points for the camera, unlike the Cullinan. Although that is pretty boxy too, but there's a lot of kind of contoured curved parts you don't really notice until you try to put the arm on it and realize that there's no seal on the suction cup. But yeah, something about the windows in the back too. There's literally no curve in them. Like most cars have a little bit of curve in the windows. They are completely flat. And we'll switch it from Sport Plus back into Sport. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of our video today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And as always, we will see you in the next video.